Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update on the current situation today as well, maybe going into the weekend a little bit. So far, this morning we're getting a pretty good move here, but I remain quite cautious. I mean, first of all, and we're diving right into this analysis. Hopefully you don't need me. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully that doesn't matter, but this is the 1 hour time frame, right? So is this really that big of a move? No. I mean, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, it's potentially meaningful, and it could be the start of something bigger. It is a possibility, but ultimately it's not that much. And we're also nearing some major resistance levels right here. But just wanted to do a full update on Bitcoin right here, what to expect. Yesterday, of course, the financial markets in the United States, which is when we get most of the volume, were closed. So today they're opening again, so that's going to bring quite a lot of volatility, or at least new capital, new volume to the markets. We're already seeing right now that there's some increased volume. I mean, for the European session, this is actually quite high. But yeah, so that's in general something you need to be prepared for later today. We don't have any major economic data coming out, although fundamental news obviously is still going to be very important and is also going to move the price. So Bitcoin is still within this tighter range right here between the 30-day rolling VWAP around 107,000. And then the main support level, which we have so far supported right here at 103,600. And that's also why generally, technically at this point of time, I'm fairly optimistic, fairly positive about Bitcoin, because we held the bottom of the range fairly well. And we have all these imbalances to the upside, right? So not only fair value gaps, but we also have some session. No, we actually don't have a naked POC there. But there are some imbalances there in general, which can be filled. So that aligns with the top of the range, which, you know, after hitting the bottom of the range, what's the most likely direction, or what's the most likely level to hit after that? It's the top of the range. So generally, technically, it looks quite likely that we're going up there. Now, we have the 7-day rolling VWAP and the 200 EMA right here at 106,500. So I would say, you know, expecting some resistance there is to be expected. If we don't, would be very positive, but that's I do expect that. But then from there, I do still expect some continuation up higher. Now, I do want to stress that, you know, even though technically this looks most likely, and that's also why I'm telling you it, and why I do think that this is most likely, the fundamentals are not amazing, right? I mean, first of all, when we talk about crypto-specific fundamentals, Thursday, Friday is never that much of a good day for the markets. So you could say there's two ways you can look at that. Thursday has been by far the most bearish day in the last month. Yesterday was actually quite good, or at least Bitcoin was able to hold relatively well. So you could say, well, that's a change compared to before. You could also say, well, the markets were closed. We're going to get that today. So that's for the crypto-specific fundamentals. Those are not great. And then here on my left, I'm looking at the oil chart. And that's also not looking amazing, right? And those general fundamentals with the S&P 500 also capping a little bit to the upside, that's not great. And if we actually get some escalation in the Middle East, this is most likely not going to happen, right? And then it's most likely that we're going to pull back to the value area low of the bigger range towards 102,600, but potentially also, or at least also with the potential to spike down lower. So this, I do believe this just because of the technicals. But I am very wary of fundamental change, and personally, I'll also keep my eyes on news feeds throughout the entire day to keep me updated on that. But for now, I would say this is most likely. This is what I'm prepared for right now. Most altcoins are correlated with that, even though there's some altcoins that are out or underperforming it. But that is something I think you need to keep an eye on as well. But those are my thoughts, right? It's going to be an interesting day. I'll try to keep you updated throughout the day as well. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.